Good morning, Freedom Marchers. I'm mad late for the live by almost a full 24 hours, but we're gonna get this discussion out into way. Good morning, folkers. Give y'all a minute to get in here. So much I wanted to discuss yesterday. I was gonna do a Ruckin' Live, but my sister had a birthday party on Saturday night, and she's moving to Africa with my homie, and yeah, I went to the party. I was planning on being home by 11:30. I was gonna get about a good 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep, maybe 6 hours. Get up and go do my ruck, but the party went a little longer than anticipated. I didn't get home till about 2:30. Fell asleep at about 3, so I wasn't about to ruck, so. And even then, I only got about 4 hours of sleep last night or yesterday, so wasn't no way I was gonna ruck. And I was gonna do a short live stream, but me and my wife was hanging out, and I said, fuck it, I'll wait till this morning. Anyway, how's my Freedom Marchers doing? We're gonna get into this discussion, man. It is November, was it November 19th? Oh no, November 15th, 2021. And it's a Monday. And I want to discuss, I put up a study yesterday on my community tab, so you guys can peruse that before I did this live stream. Hopefully some of you did, so that you have a little bit of an understanding of what I'm going to talk about, which I'm going to be talking about very carefully, because
next sharp right onto
YouTube likes to censor the truth. They like to censor the truth, and they like to strike the truth tellers, right? So what I'm about to get into is not a conspiracy theory. It's done. It's a study. Of course, it has to be peer reviewed and tested over and over again. That's how science works. That's how science is supposed to work. But when it comes to Modelo 19, it's kind of backwards. It's selective science. So when it comes to Modelo 19, it's about selective science and what you can and can't get away with, regardless of what the truth is. All right. So the study talks about how the spike proteins. Now I don't know if the algorithm is going to pick up the word spike protein, but you got to do what you got to do. So it discusses what the spike proteins might be doing inside the cell, right? It talks about how full-length spike proteins enters the nucleus, right, and disrupts it disrupts the reparation of damaged DNA, basically. So what happens is the spike protein goes into the nucleus, and it basically prevents the cell from repairing damage, which over time, right, if it happens on a large scale within your body, then it could cause cancer. It could cause cancer, basically. It could grow tumors. And this is what's happening when they do this study. And this is an issue in regards to the Modelo 19 hokey pokey, because the hokey pokey, it creates full-length spike proteins. So in effect, what it's doing is creating the capability for those spike proteins to enter the nucleus, which the study has discovered. It enters the nucleus of the cell. And what's in the nucleus of the cell? Your DNA.
Continue on.
And what is it doing to your DNA? It is disrupting the reparation of DNA strands, right? And that's very crucial when you're talking about cell division and things like that. When you talk about cell division and all those types of things, then you're talking about, if you don't repair the DNA and your cells are dividing, you're going to have all this damaged DNA with free radicals and all that good shit, and boom, here comes cancer. Now, the Modelo 19 hokey pokey itself does not, so they say, it does not go into the nucleus. It stays in the cytoplasm of the cell, and it basically gives instructions to the ribosomes in your cytoplasm. But there's RNA in your DNA within the nucleus that your DNA creates to give instructions to this ribosome. So yes, while the SNAP itself might not be going into the nucleus and doing anything with your DNA, the spike proteins that those ribosomes create could be going into the cell nucleus and doing shit to the DNA. And that makes you a GMO. If you get the SNAP, that's probably what's going on here. So with this knowledge, why is it that they're allowing this thing to continue to be injected into people? Yes, it might still, the study might still need to be tested and peer reviewed and all these other things, right? But wouldn't you want to wait? Wouldn't you want to say, you know what? We don't want to cause problems down the road for people in regards to cancer and shit like that. So maybe we should fall back. Maybe we should stop the proliferation of the snaps. Maybe we should stop giving this shit to our children, because if full-length proteins may be going into the cell nucleus and disrupting DNA, doing what it needs to do, then that could cause problems for the children as well. So why is it that we are still allowing, and this is not the only study that would want someone to say, you know what, let's take a pause from these snaps. No, there are multiple studies that talk about multiple different things, including antibody dependency or something, antibody dependency something, where the antibodies are supposed to be attacking the disease, but instead it attacks you. Because why is it attacking you in your cells? Think about that. If antibody dependency, I forgot, syndrome or something, why would the antibodies be attacking your cells? Well, because your cells are creating spike proteins within the cytoplasm, right? Your cells are creating these spike proteins within the cytoplasm. These spike proteins are unrecognized by the human immune system. It's not a part of you. It's not indigenous. I mean, yeah, it's not, it's not part of your body. So, of course, it makes sense that your antibodies are going to attack your cells because they have these goddamn spike proteins in it. And and they're being created within your cells.
Onto I-405 south, and then keep right.
There are many
I-405.
There are many things pointing to maybe we should stop giving these snaps out until we complete all the studies that we're supposed to complete. including the studies about myocarditis, pericarditis, blood clotting, all that good shit. Wouldn't you want to say, you know what? We don't want to cause more problems than the Modelo 19 itself. So we should just take our time, work on these treatments that are seeming to work, like the monoclonal antibodies. I haven't heard not one adverse thing about monoclonal antibodies. Every time I hear about somebody taking monoclonal antibodies, I don't hear about no side effects. I hear about how people are recovering within 2 or 3 days, testing negative, meaning that their body had done got rid of all the goddamn Modelo 19. That's what I keep hearing about monoclonal antibodies. But they don't want you to have monoclonal antibodies. Rick DeSantis in Florida was giving it out like candy. Biden didn't like that, so he stopped the supply. He didn't stop the supply, but he stopped giving as much of the supply to Florida. At first it was, oh, okay, we'll give it to the states that want it. We'll give the monoclonal antibodies to the states that want it. And then all of a sudden, Rick DeSantis is, basically ridding Florida of the Modelo 19 with monoclonal antibodies and other treatments. And now all of a sudden, oh no, we gotta we gotta stop giving Florida as many monoclonal antibodies. We gotta start distributing them evenly across the states, even though a lot of states aren't even asking for monoclonal antibodies, right? And why would that be? If it's a proven treatment, which it is, right? Let's say, in the grand scheme of things, just all this is. Now, I'm not speaking to the validity of the Modelo 19. What I'm doing is I'm playing their game, right? I'm playing their game. Why would you not want to give? Why would that not be the treatment of choice? And I'm also hearing you can even give the monoclonal antibodies to people who don't even have the Modelo 19 yet. So that if they do get the Modelo 19, it's already ready to fight it. So it's not just something that you can just get after you get infected. You can get it before you even are exposed, just like you can with the snap. So why aren't they pushing for the monoclonal antibodies to be distributed and all that shit? Why is it all about the snap? You gotta wonder why they are so desperate to get this shit into people's bodies. You gotta wonder.
7 miles ahead on the route. Slow traffic.
I damn sure wonder. Because if I'm a scientist and a doctor, I'm gonna wanna go with the best treatment. But not only that, I wanna go with, I wanna have a large option of treatments that could serve different types of people, right? Because some people might not have a good reaction to the Modelo 19 hokey pokey. It can't be a one size fit all thing. Some people are immunocompromised and they actually get worse, or they have real big problems from the Modelo 19 hokey pokey because they're immunocompromised. And they want to, but see, what they're doing is they're saying, well, the immunocompromised people are the ones that need the Modelo 19 the most, Modelo 19 hokey pokey the most. But is that true? If they're immunocompromised, and let's say they have an autoimmune disease, that's when you have a disease where your immune system attacks itself or attacks healthy cells and whatnot. Why would you want to excite that disease by giving someone, the Modelo 19 hokey pokey and sending their immune system haywire? Maybe something like monoclonal antibodies would be better for people with immunocompromised, that are immunocompromised. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just spitballing. Because like I said, I have not heard anything negative about monoclonal antibodies. I really haven't. But you damn sure hear about the Modelo 19 causing problems. Like a whole a school had to shut down because a bunch of teachers, I forgot what state this was in, a bunch of teachers got the snap, and they had to shut down the school. They had to shut down the school for a day because of their adverse reactions to the Modelo 19 hokey pokey, right? Not only that, now that could have been, the teachers were milking it and all that other shit. Who knows what really happened, right? Who knows? But what I do know is that a whole football team had to stop playing football because there was an outbreak of Modelo 19 on the team. So 43 players of a football team got Modelo 19 after they've been poked already. They were already poked, right? They were already snapped, double snapped. They were already double snapped, and guess what? 43%, 99% of the team were snapped. 99% got the snap. They still got Modelo 19. There was an outbreak among 43 players, and they couldn't play. They had to stop playing. They couldn't play. 99% snapped. Couldn't play because 43% of them, or 43 of them, got sick with Modelo 19. If only they took monoclonal antibodies, right? So with this knowledge, why are they still insisting on mandating the snap? Oh well, it does much better than it does harm. It does more good than it does harm and all this other shit. But they haven't proven that. And these people are out here spewing lies about Modelo 19, talking about how see why it's safe and effective. Like, you go to your Facebook page, anybody that talks about Modelo 19 or the snap, they put these stupid ass informational panels up talking about, this is why the Modelo 19 is so safe and effective. But it's lies. They're lying. They don't know what the fuck it is.
Keep right.
They don't know if it's safe and effective or not. You know why? Because it has not been tested. It has not gone through. If you don't fucking drive your shit.
Proceed about 1 mile to the traffic circle.
You can't know how safe and effective it is when you've only been studying it for less than a year. You don't know. And multiple times have they said, like, when the children were getting, when the child's snap was getting approved, they were like, oh well, we have to get this stuff into the kids before we find out what it does. What? So how big were the trials that you guys had for those 3 or 4 months? How big were the trials? What was the sample size?
Left turn.
Probably not large enough or expansive enough
In 1/10 of a mile
to know jack shit about it.
onto East Los Coyotes diagonal.
And now this study comes out talking about, oh well, these spike proteins might be going into, not might, but they are going into the cell nucleus and fucking up the DNA.
Next right.
GMO in your ass. So I stand on the GMO shit. I stand on it, and I stood on it when I found when I realized that when they said that it doesn't go into your cell nucleus, who knows what the fuck it does? You don't know what that thing is doing once they put that shit in your body, man. These people, and this is the funny thing. There were experts out there that were saying that you guys should not be creating full length spike proteins. You should just be using a fragment of the spike protein because it could cause problems if you use the full a full length spike protein, and that's why you get the antibody dependency something, I forget, whatever the last word was. So they were warned that using full length spike proteins could cause problems. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube, I'm definitely going to put the link to the study into the in the description. So don't be coming at me talking about some medical misinformation. I'm getting this shit from a study, which I already acknowledged needs to be peer reviewed and vetted, and it needs to be studied and it needs to be tested multiple times. That's how science works. So I acknowledge that it has to be put through the test. But if experts were already warning before the study was even done that full-length spike proteins could cause issues, then there has to be something to it, right?
Sharp right turn onto East Pacific Coast Highway.
Man, I mean, I swear to God. So let's say this thing gets peer reviewed and it's found to be a scientific fact or a scientific truth.
You have arrived at your destination.
Before something can become a scientific fact or truth, it has to be tested multiple times, and the test results have to be the same, and from different people, like different experts, different scientists have to test this scientific theory, because it's right now a scientific theory, which is it's more solid and credible than just a regular theory, right? It's a scientific theory, meaning that there was an observation made, there were questions asked, there was tests done, and all this other shit just to arrive at this theory here. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, it has to be going over multiple times. They have to follow the same protocol multiple times to see if they get the same results. Once they do, they can say, yo, it is what it is. But we'll see if they discover that, yo, this is a big problem. What will they do? Are they going to stop? Are they going to stop fucking passing this shit out? Are they going to shut it down? You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about cancer here. All right, we're not talking about we're not just talking about blood clots or myocarditis or pericarditis. We're not just talking about that. Now you want to add the element of cancer onto that, right? Cancer, which takes longer to manifest. So I hope if you people out there are getting the snap, just be careful and make sure you guys are getting checked regularly to make sure y'all are straight. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want them cancer problems. You don't want them cancer problems. Just be careful. Read a couple comments and I got to get out of here. Black Spring when autumn was good. Fast Eddie VH was good. He was talking about monoclonal antibodies this morning. I gotta listen to that. Which country in Africa they moving to? Ghana? No, they're going to Tanzania. I'm not going to Africa. I'm staying my ass right here. I can't, because if I go to Africa, I can't keep and bear arms. Africa has its own set of problems. If I can't, if I go to Africa and I can't get a hold of me some hardware, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go because Africa, like I said, Africa has its own problems. You got China horning in. You got China, Russia. You got all these other, some multiple European countries going over there. Tanzania. China's there too. Not as much as they are in Ghana. China's all up and through Ghana. They had two choices. They had between Ghana and Tanzania, and they chose Tanzania because China was just too prolific in Ghana. But they're not as prolific in Tanzania, but they're there, and I ain't gonna be able to do it. Nope. At least here, the people have hardware they can use when push comes to shove. Push comes to shove in Africa, I ain't about to be throwing rocks and machetes at people. Nope. You can get a firearm in Tanzania, you got to jump through a lot of hoops, and you can't have certain weapons unless you're part of the military. Now, unless I'm going to be part of the military, I ain't going to be able to, and it's not just that. I want my neighbor to be able to carry. I don't want just me. I don't want to be special. Oh, you're a special military man. So I don't that's not right. Everybody should be able to carry. So I'm not going to no country where I can't pick up the heat. All right? And I'm not talking about just no pistol, like pistol, rifle, whatever I got to pick up. Nope. Stay here and fight if I have to. This is my land too, and they're not driving me from my land. Anyway, much love, people. Peace out. Let's keep